Hello there, I'm Musty Hobbit, and there's nothing that a Hobbit loves more than another helping of Second Breakfast, so welcome to the channel. I am really looking forward to the Midwest Gaming Classic, April 13th through 15th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. If you are in the area and can get there, I would highly encourage you to do so. This will be the third time I've been to the event, and it is an absolute blast. One of the biggest things and some of the big highlights for me this year is that I'm going to be participating in not one but two panels on Sunday. Sunday the 15th at 11:30 a.m. there will be a panel hosted by the Cartridge Club talking about building online communities, some of the struggles that we've gone through, but how we've kept things relatively toxicity free. And so I want to take some time to talk through that with you. I'll be on the stage with a number of my fellow club mates, and it is going to be, I think, a fun conversation. In addition, at 1:30, I'm participating in the Midwest YouTubers panel where we talk about content programming and how we sort of decide what it is that we do on our channel. If you are familiar with my channel, I've gone through a few shifts over the last 6 months or so, including a rebranding of the channel itself, and I want to take a chance to talk to people about that, give people a chance to kind of hear my story and understand where I come from in making those changes, and what sort of things I take into account when deciding what it is that I put in front of you on a regular basis. Of course, as with any convention, there is going to be a large vendor presence, and that's kind of the bulk of what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to give you 5 things that I am looking for at the vendor hall at the Midwest Gaming Classic 2018. I did one of these last year, and it was a great opportunity to kind of meet some of you guys who I didn't know yet. So I'm hoping that some new people find this video. Maybe we'll get a chance to say hi at some point. Let me go through. We'll start with number 5 all the way up to number 1. For number 5, I'm actually putting a Super Nintendo title, and this is the only Super Nintendo title I have on my list. I am missing the Lord of the Rings Volume 1. I want that complete in box for the Super Nintendo. That is number 5 on the list, and again, the only Super Nintendo game I am looking for this year. For number 4, I am leaning relatively hard into the N64 library. Until about 2 months ago, this was a system that I had really no interest in collecting for, and then through a few decent deals and lucky finds, I am all in on trying to find some N64 games. So I have a list of, I think, roughly 40-something games that I'm sort of deeming the best of the best. I got some recommendations from fellow club mates who have complete N64 collections as to what some of the better games are to get, and I'm going to try to get as many of those as I can within reason. There are a couple pricier games, but I'm definitely hoping to make some good deals on some N64 titles this time around. At number 3, I'm throwing a few GameCube games on the list, but the one that I wanted to point out is kind of the weirdest one of the lot, and that is Odama. Odama is a pinball game that includes a microphone that allows for voice commands, and I've seen gameplay of this. It looks really compelling, and a good pinball game is kind of interesting to me, kind of fitting. Midwest Gaming Classic was born out of a pinball sort of enthusiast crowd, and so I feel like getting Odama, if I can find one complete with the microphone and everything, would be a nice find for the Midwest Gaming Classic. At number 2, I am going to list something that I had on last year's video, and I did not find it, and I'm hoping to find it this year. I'm looking for not only a copy of Halo 2600, but I would really like to find one complete in box if possible. I can get Halo 2600 from the Atari Age website at any point. I think it's like a $30 pickup. I really like the display of it with the box and the manual, and so that's... I don't normally pay for cardboard. This would be a situation where I would actually be willing to pay for that if there is a copy. As I understand, the only copy that was there last year got snatched up relatively quickly, so I didn't get a chance to even look at it. So I'm hoping that I can find it. If I can get the cart and the manual itself for a reasonable amount, as in the amount that I would pay to have it shipped to me tomorrow, that would be my focus. But if that's one that's really high on my list, it's one that I want to have to kind of fill out that Halo collection that I have going. And the number 1 thing I'm looking for at the Midwest Gaming Classic is more NES games. I have kind of had this rejuvenated focus with NES cartridges. At Barry Game Exchange last year, I went after all the Tengen titles and actually got really close to finishing out that list. So I have a couple of subsets that I'm working on for the NES. In particular, and these are all developer focused, I want to find all of the Broderbund games. I have a few of them. It's not a large list, but one of them in particular is Dusty Diamond's All-Star Softball. That one's a little bit pricey by comparison, especially for a sports title. But I want to get all the Broderbund games. Ultra is a developer. It is Konami. It's their sister company that they developed to get around Nintendo's licensing restrictions. Ultra was based out of the town that my high school was in, so there's some attachment to that company, and so I'm interested in finishing out the Ultra collection. In addition, I've been working on the Milton Bradley games as well, and I have only a few left on that. I'd really like to knock all three of those out if I can, and most of what I'm looking for is fairly common, so I'm hoping that the convention will accommodate that. Black Box is also something I think that's on the horizon. There's just some bigger hitters that I'm not really ready to go after just yet, but I'd like to do the Black Box titles at some point. But for this show specifically, Milton Bradley, Ultra, and Broderbund, I'd like to knock those out in its entirety. If I can, hopefully there's an abundance of these common titles for these companies that I can knock out. So I'd like to thank you for coming by again. This convention means a lot to me. It's one that's close, and it's one that I don't think I'm going to miss anytime in the near future, but it's the first time that I get to speak in public for this, and naturally I just haven't been great at public speaking, so this is going to be a nice event that I'm hoping a lot of people enjoy. If you can make it to the panels on Sunday, please do. If you see me out on the vendor floor, please say hi. I look forward to meeting people and hunting with you guys as we look for games and just fun experiences. And at some point I will be down in the Steel Battalion room. I will try to see if we can get some of that LAN party action going. Anyways, let me know if you're going to be at Midwest Gaming Classic. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're looking for. We can look out for each other. It'll be great. Anyways, I'm going to stop there. Thank you for coming by. I have been Musty. Take care of yourself and be good to each other.